Hi, everyone. You're listening to episode 70 of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. Thanks so much for inviting us to your table. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. We're a group of diverse friends who offer our takes on the latest and greatest board games to hit our table. I'm your host, Daniela, the Goofy Noob, and I'm joined today by the Collector.
Hey, this is David.
The Intellectual Introvert.
Hi, everyone. This is Chris.
And the Deluxeifier.
Hello, it's Pete.
Hey, we're not superstitious, but we're a little stitious. Today we're trying to avoid bad luck, but we're still breaking mirrors and walking under ladders as we play Reiner Knizia's Friday the 13th. Here comes a black cat, so let's get moving.
Friday the 13th is a 3 to 6 player hand management and set collection game where players try to avoid bad luck omens like black cats, broken mirrors, walking under ladders, and of course, Friday the 13th. The goal is to have the least bad luck at the end of the game. The deck consists of 50 total cards with 3 suits of green, blue, and yellow cards, each including multiple copies valued at 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. There are also 8 red Friday the 13th cards valued at 4. The game starts by dealing all of the cards out to players as evenly as possible, including a face-down dummy hand if playing with only 3 players. On your turn, you select one card from your hand to play face up in the middle. The card must be added to the pile that matches its suit, so a yellow broken mirror card must be added to the yellow pile. Or if you play a red card, you can add it to the pile of your choice. If the total of that pile is less than or equal to 13, play proceeds to the next player. However, if the resulting total exceeds 13, you must take the entire pile, except the card you just played, and place it face down in front of you. Once all cards have been played, the round ends, and players review the face down cards they've collected. If any player has the most of any given suit, not tied, they may discard those cards. Any remaining suited cards earn 1 bad luck point each. Any red omen cards collected may not be discarded and earn 2 bad luck points each. The game ends after 4 rounds, and the player with the fewest bad luck points wins the game and hacks the other players to pieces with a rusty but incredibly efficient machete. Friday the 13th was designed by Reiner Knizia and was first published under the name Poison in 2005.
All right, guys, what is it about Friday the 13th that makes you feel like Jason Voorhees at midnight?
You know, to me, what makes a really good game is holding the tension until like the very end. And I think Poison or Friday the 13th, whatever name you want to call it, I think it does this really well, meaning that everybody is kind of still in it until the end. And those last like 3 to 4 tricks in this game really determine sometimes what's going to happen. And I do really enjoy that aspect. I feel like the buildup is really great and everybody's in it. I just love the dichotomy of, you know, if you have the most in something, you just throw them out at the end. If, you know, that's great. And, you know, if you know, so there's different ways that you can get away with not getting points. And I like that. Either you can try to go for 0 of a color or you could try to get the most of a color, which I find a fascinating dichotomy on those two things.
Yeah, and I like pushing the red cards, honestly. Like when everything's at like, you know, they're 4 points, so maybe everything's at like a 9 or, you know, something in the decks that you're going after and someone lays that down and you're like, oh man, you know, like the next person's going to have to take it. I think we did that a lot in the last couple of games, which was funny.
Yeah, how many times we were able to manipulate it to where it's coming to your turn, whoever you might be,
yeah.
and all of them are at 13.
You have to
There's
take one.
nothing you can do.
That's
and
crazy.
then it's a matter of trying to remember, okay, who has what and which one's going to hurt me the least.
Yeah, it's such a simple rule set too. You're going to put one card down, and if you go over 13, you're taking it. And then if you do go over 13, that one card gets left over, so you are taking not all the cards there, but everyone except for the one that you put down. So sometimes you throw a poison out there to go over the top and sneak all those out. And I love the interaction in the games because, like we said, sometimes you're putting cards down. I know Chris is going after something, David's going after another one, and sometimes I'm trying to just stay out of it, and other times I'm trying to take every card I can get because maybe I have a lot of blue cards or whatever, and I know I'm going to try to go for that, and sometimes that's great until the table talk starts going on, and Pete's taking all the blue cards, and
which I think we play that wrong. I don't think we're supposed to vocalize that.
Well, I don't mind because I think that is fun. But the one thing you aren't supposed to do is look at how many you have. And I think there was a couple times where, David, I think I had maybe one or two more cards than you did, and you didn't quite expect that I had that many. So
yeah, I got 5 points for that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Stinks to be second. That's what this is.
That's the fun part of the game. It's a quick game. It's fun, easy to learn. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, to your point, P, for me, I think the game shines if you're not trying too super hard. The first time we played this, I'm like, okay, David has 5 blues and 3 greens. And I was like, okay, Chris, stop. And anytime we played it after, I was like, I'm not going to try to count cards. I'm going to let my brain just do its work and say, I think Pete's got a lot of blues. And then that tension, like you said, is always there, and it's building up. So don't try to try hard it. Lead to some tension, and again, maybe some tough decisions, but you don't have all the information because you haven't been trying to try hard it, and that just, to me, just makes a lot of fun at the reveal.
Because you don't know what I'm going to do next. You could put something down and it might all get screwed up because I throw something else out. And
right, I could be try hard as much as I want, and all 3 come to me at 13. I'm taking something in.
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah.
All right. Is there anything about Friday the 13th that gives you guys the heebie-jeebies?
Well, I'll start with the production piece, square cards.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, somebody said, I think maybe it was you, Danielle, they're supposed to look like a calendar page. Maybe it was you, Pete.
Yeah.
That's great. I'd rather not my cards be square. You can't shuffle them,
yeah.
right? And then not only can you not shuffle them, they're not one-sided, but there's a top and a bottom. And so when you put them in your hands and they're hard to do anything with, now you got to arrange them because there's an up and there's a down. I don't know. It didn't have to be that way. And when it's such a cute little game, nice little game, and then it's like, but you're going to make me get irritated every time we try to shuffle those. We ended up just throwing them on a table and trying to mix them around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the original game, they were regular cards and they had pots or something like that for the different colors, and you're throwing the cards in there. Production wise, like I said, I'm fine with the square cards. I think it makes it unique. A little bit of table presence when people are walking by. Oh, what's that? It's not just a regular card game. So I don't mind that too much. Like every card game out there, you can get dealt a hand, and sometimes it's fantastic. Other times it's crummy. But again, you just do the best you can with what it is.
Well, if you could shuffle them, maybe they'd be better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, this is a game, too, where you're dealing out that whole deck, and if it's uneven, they're still playing the cards. So you might have an extra card some of the rounds, and that's sorry. You just got to keep playing it. Sometimes it leads to bad things.
Yeah. I would say, too, if counting isn't your thing, this game probably isn't for you because, you're counting the whole row and you have to say it out loud, like what you're putting down, and make sure everybody knows what's kind of going on. And a little lag in the game. I'm counting on my fingers and making math. So,
well, I just say the wrong number and they correct me. So that's what I do. No,
that pile's yours. Take it.
It's a lot better than straw. How you can lose track because you can go back and you can do the math.
And you have to do the negatives.
Yeah.
So. I think too, this game, just starting off when you're learning it, it can be a little confusing on how to strategize your hand, right? The things that we said are good are sometimes maybe confusing to other people too of, do I want any cards or should I just take all those blue cards right now? Or should I try to not get anything? So you can kind of take that for what it's worth as you're looking at your hand or being dealt or receiving because you're busting on certain lines. But yeah, it takes a little bit of strategy and there's a little bit of people setting people up as well, and it is what it is kind of a game, but some people might find that either frustrating or aggravating, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of the road in this game. You're either going hard one way or hard the other way. And I think after even myself, the first time I played it, you got to wrap that around your head, but it's not too difficult after that, and then you start seeing that strategy play out well, and that's where we start. I have 3 green cards. Which one do I play? Do I play the one or do I save the one in case if I need it? So there's some depth in there once you scratch that surface.
But you said you're either going to go hard in one area or hard in another, but you can't go too hard, and that's one of my little nitpicks. And I know the game. Hey, it even mentions this in the rule book that you got to watch out. But you can take all the green cards. It does you no good. Right, you don't get any points, but neither did anybody else. And I feel like, hey, if you're able to shoot the moon and I got all the green cards, there should be some kind of advantage that I'm getting from that so that people are like, he's going to get them all. I got to take one or he's going to get this big bonus. But they don't. It's like, okay, great, Chris, take them all. I don't want them, right? Because I know they're going to score. And so I think there was one time I did that. I got all the greens and I was like, tough. Yeah, you get nothing, neither does anybody else. And again, the rule book says don't take them all. But I don't know. It's a nitpick. It doesn't ruin a game for me, but I feel like if you can do that, there ought to be some benefit to doing that. And I may be alone on that, but for me, that's what.
Yeah, you can also paint a big target on your back too if you start taking those. People start throwing the poisons down on there, and like, I got a handful of blue cards. I'm going to end up taking all that poison, and you got to live with it.
All right, guys, it's just about time for trick-or-treating, so let's wrap this one up on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being a fifth meeple recommendation by you to buy and 1 being a recommendation to burn. Where does Friday the 13th rank for you? I'm going to just start going around the table. Let's start with Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 3.
Okay.
I was really struggling I was going to give it a 2 because the game itself is not super fun for me. I'm not a huge fan of the mechanisms, but I decided to give it a 3 because I actually had a lot of fun when we were playing with it. It was the interactions between us and the fun we're having of trying to set someone up. And again, it's a quick game. And so if you get got, it's not that big of a deal. I really enjoyed that. And so I'm not seeking this game. I'm not buying it. But if somebody wants to play it, especially like on a Halloween and the themes, I'll play it. So it's a 3 for me. Not my favorite game, never will be. But for this group, I had a lot of fun. Pete.
Yeah, I'm going to come in at a 3 as well. I think it's kind of a good game. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing that I desperately need to have. I think this would be a good game at my work group. I think it goes a little bit longer than you think, because I was looking at the times. It's like 30 to 40 minutes. It's a little bit longer game than would probably work at work.
That's because it takes so long to shuffle those stupid square cards.
Maybe that's it. No, I'm going to come in at a 3. I think if you want a good filler, great Halloween theme, if you're going to do something along those lines, I think it's a great game. David.
Yeah, before I give my score, I'm just going to tell you, if you're looking for this game, Friday the 13th, it's under the name Poison. If you ever try to look it up, there's not a lot of copies of the copy that we played for some reason. Ours is like more of the newer version. I did find, if you are looking for a copy of this game because it sounds like fun, you can find a copy of Poison. They're still really hard to find, but if you go to Tabletop Haven, they're selling them for $11.89. There's 3 copies left at the time of this recording, so it might not be there, but it's just a hard to find game. As of right now, I don't know if they'll probably do another reprint or whatever, but right now it is a little bit tough to find on that market space.
What about the Friday the 13th? Do you know how much that one's running?
That edition? One, I can't even find any copies of that game.
Really?
Right now,
when was that printed?
20. I think it was 2016 was the last one.
Oh, wow. I thought it was like, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there might be just 2 copies left.
Yeah.
In the world?
Uh-oh. Pete's getting it.
He might get it.
It's on eBay.
Yeah. So Tabletop Haven. As far as my score goes, though, I really like this game. I feel like this game teaches you something different than a lot of trick takers, which is the art of setting up other people and trying to get them to take points. And I feel like it does a really good job of trying to engage with that person who might be just avoiding tricks, because that's how a lot of trick takers go, but actively trying to set people up is a technique that you learn in trick taking, but it's a lot harder technique to teach somebody. And I think this game does it really well in the fact that, a lot of times we're trying to just line up people so that, it goes back to Daniela and she just has all 13s in front of her. And there's no better moment when, you could just put that one down and you're not taking it, but, you're passing that buck along. So for that reason,
do you see the abuse I take here?
I'm giving this game a 5. I like this game. I'll always play this game if somebody wants to play it. That's just kind of where I sit on it right now. So going over to Daniela.
All right. So I actually am giving this game a 5 as well. I think, again, going off of the things that David said, I think it's a good game to do a little bit of the take that, a little bit of trick taking, a little bit of just an intro to the game that's clean. I feel I could teach this, which is saying a lot about the game. And I believe that the people who I would play this on vacation with or something like that would be able to understand it and be able to grasp it, at least at a mild level. And then I think they could, after a number of rounds, understand, okay, am I pushing these, poisons off onto somebody else, or, the red cards, or am I taking these cards? I think it's fairly simple enough and straightforward to understand that it would be doable for entry level gamers. So that's where I'm setting. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this mini episode of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on Friday the 13th. And if you'd like to get in touch, just email us at thefifthmeeple@gmail.com or reach out to us on social media. Of course, if you like our show, we'd love it if you give us a 5-star review to help us grow wherever you may listen. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, remember, if it wasn't for luck, I'd have no luck at all. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Adios, amigos.
All right, how about some things that may... What?
You're good. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right, how about... All right, great. Thanks, guys. So let's talk about... Let's just talk about... Oh, it's just about... Okay, sorry. And 1, 2...